Well, hello and welcome to this very special episode of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. I have to say, all of us here associated with the show are still on cloud nine after receiving word last week of our programming winning the Magellan Gold Medal Award. Thank you to everyone that's reached out with their good wishes. And more importantly, thank you for your continued support of On Deck with Avoya. We're full steam ahead as we approach our 3-year anniversary special, which is next week, featuring Avoya Travel's newest member of our leadership team and the company's first chief sales officer, Phil Capelli. Can't wait to have my exclusive chat with Phil and welcome him to our program as we celebrate 3 amazing years here at On Deck with Avoya. But today, the lead up to that, wow, what a show as we welcome in one of the great vendor partners for Avoya Travel, CIE Tours, and the amazing Jenny Warren, Director of Host Accounts USA and Canada. Are you ready to chat the Emerald Isle, the Scottish Highlands, and so much more? Well, so are we, and we can't wait to welcome Jenny for a Meet the Industry feature here in just a moment. After our Q&A, we're going to update the latest promotions, including the travel agent education powered by Avoya platform, elite resources so you can run an elite business, social media contacts so you never miss anything important from Avoya Travel, and of course, all the ways you can get involved and reach out, of course, with our contact information. So let's kick it off, this week's special episode of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. There are so many components that go into having a successful travel business, including who you partner with and why. That goes for you, the agent looking for the right host partner, and that goes for Avoya Travel and our featured vendor today, CIE Tours, who you make that crucial investment of time, of energy, of resources with. That can and does have just a direct correlation to the success of your business. Well, thankfully, Avoya Travel partners with the best of the best in all leisure destination. And today we're so excited to shine our spotlight on our relationship with CIE Tours. So please help me welcome our featured Meet the Industry guest today. And since I don't have a pint of Guinness to toast her with, I did bust out my Guinness koozie here. My verbal introduction will have to be enough, but Jennifer Warren, not in trouble, just being formal, Director of Host Accounts USA and Canada for CIE Tours. Jenny, so great to have you as our special guest this week for On Deck with Avoya.
Oh, thank you, Chris. I am so excited to be here.
Before we get started with our interview, Jenny, tell me a little bit about yourself and your history in the travel industry and how you ended up with your current role at CIE Tours.
So I have been in the travel industry now for 25 years, actually. Started straight out of college, and worked as an inside salesperson with Travel Impressions and was there for 10 years, moved on up in the ranks to business development manager. And then after I left there, I moved over to the cruise side for a few years because that was something I had always wanted to do. And since then, I've worked for a few other, great companies within the industry. And I've been blessed to have some amazing mentors along the way that have continued to help me grow within my career. Started with CIE 5 years ago. They were looking for someone to start up their host division and approached me in regards to the job because I had been doing host accounts with a former company. And basically, I've spent the last 12 years of my career solely focused on the success of the host accounts and the individual ICs.
I'm going to say something to our viewers really quick, Jenny, because I think you made a really important point, but I want to remind people how important it is to have those mentors when you get into this business, to let those mentors help you grow and become even more successful. And mentorship is certainly a key component in Avoya Travel, but I just really love how you brought that out, and I wanted to make that mention. When did the travel bug bite you? I mean, if right out of college you started working in travel, has it been with you your whole life?
For the most part, yes. When I was in college, my major was actually hospitality administration. And I had thought that I wanted to go into private club management. and did a year-long internship at one of the top private clubs here in Atlanta, and realized that that really wasn't just for me. And during that time, I also, believe it or not, went on my first cruise ever. And at that point, I knew that I wanted to be, instead of being on, the private club side, I actually wanted to be in the travel and tourism industry.
Smart move on your part, I think. You probably get to bed a little bit earlier. I think you see the sunrise a lot when you're in that private club.
Yeah, that you do. So,
Jenny, I think most of us in the travel industry first think of Ireland when we think of CIE Tours. And the first thing I want to know, is that an accurate thought on our part? And second off, tell us the rest of the story, because I know Ireland is just part of the CIE story that stretches back, what, almost 100 years, right?
92 years this year. And yes, when people think of CIE Tours, of course they think of Ireland, and that is because we are an Irish owned company. And CIE Tours in Gaelic means Chorus Umpar Éireann. And when you translate it back to English, it's the Irish transportation system. So we are owned and operated, by the Irish transportation system and the Irish government. But there is so much more, to CIE Tours other than just Ireland. But that obviously, is our core product. But along with that, we also do Great Britain. So all of England, Wales, Scotland, that is our second core product. And then in 2018, we branched out and started selling Iceland and Italy as well. So those 4 countries make up CIE, and they make us a niche tour operator within the market. So we don't sell the world, but the small portion that we do sell, we sell very, very well.
And if you're going to pick 4 countries, I mean, and you're going to be in the tourism industry, Ireland, Great Britain, Italy, and Iceland, not too bad as far as if you're going to have 4 in the repertoire, right?
No, I mean, and if you look at, every year, what are the top countries in Europe, our 4 countries are always in, the top 10. And 3 of those, which I always refer to as the 3 I's, Italy, Ireland, and Iceland, they are always in the top 5. So, we definitely have a great breadth of product within our 4 countries that we represent.
No doubt about it. So now that you filled us in a little bit on the amazing CIE history, let's talk about the current and the future, because there's some pretty exciting things going on with CIE Tours, right? And I want to get the absolute latest information for our guest today.
Okay. Some of the new things that we are launching in 2024, we have 2 new tours that we will start for 2024, and we're calling them our day tripper tours. And we do this already in Ireland as well as in London. And what it is, it's a bespoke type of tour. So for 2024, we've added in a Scottish day tripper, and we've also added in Tuscan treasures with Cinque Terre. So that is expanding out more of our product for Italy in 2024. But the concept is, for clients who want to do a guided vacation, but they don't always want to have to unpack and repack, this is a great type of touring for them, because you're headquartered in one area for anywhere from 5 to 7 nights, and then each day you'll day trip out to see the different sites and excursions.
I love that idea. I absolutely love it. I mean, it's one of the reasons that cruising is actually for me a really great way to travel, because you just pack once and you're in your room and you have all that creature comfort, and at the end of the day, something that's familiar. But during the day, you're in different areas and a chance to explore. So this concept of one central location and then kind of branching out from there, I think kudos to you guys. That's a brilliant idea and a great way to see these destinations.
Yeah, and I think that, with this, it also opens up, more clients from the cruise side, that, love to cruise and they love the aspect of it. Like you said, only having to unpack once and being able to see different things every day. And, we feel that this will attract, people who are already cruising. And, especially in Europe, I always say if you do a cruise in Europe, it's such a tease because it only gives you this brief little, window of it. But with, our day tripper series, it definitely gives the clients more opportunity to experience the destination.
Cool stuff. How about a few specific tips that might help our audience today when they're dealing with clients and they're considering CIE tours and they want to close more business for their agency? Any tips that might help them there, Jenny?
I think, some of the best tips that I can offer you is one, know what your clients are wanting to do, understand what their needs are, what is most important to them. A lot of times when advisors, approach a guided vacation with their clients, automatically they're like, oh no, it's too rigid. It's too scheduled and planned out. And the truth is, that was 20 years ago when we did that stuff. Now our tours, there is a lot more free time. There's some more flexibility, but the main selling point of a guided vacation is you're traveling with like-minded people. It's great if you're a solo traveler as well, because you have a comfort of traveling within a group. And also, you really get immersed into the destination that you're traveling to. And with CIE Tours, we have what we call our all-in inclusive advantage. And what that means is that the price that the clients pay, it includes everything. So from about 80% of their meals, breakfast is always included daily. It includes all of their hotel stays. It includes all of their sightseeing and the entrance fees. It includes, the luxury motor coach. It includes the free Wi-Fi on the luxury motor coach, as well as at the hotels, to whereas some of my competitors, they charge extra for these things, and their guides try to upsell them once they get on the luxury motor coaches. And with us, there is no upselling. Everything is there. And for the advisor, they're making full commission on the package price. And for the clients, they know everything that is included, and they're not going to be nickeled and dimed. Our guides and drivers, they're focused on the commentary and actually getting to know, the guests that are on board.
That makes a lot of sense. No kind of hidden agendas by anybody anywhere, right? It's all straightforward, no surprises for the clients. And who doesn't love, as a fan of travel agents, who doesn't love that extra commission when everything's, commissionable? So that's a big win-win there too. Jenny, tell me a little bit about what like a day-to-day looks like for you as the director of host accounts here in the good old USA and Canada for CIE Tours.
Oh my goodness. Right now, my day-to-day is I am knee-deep in 2024 marketing plans. And also I'm in conference mode. So my days consist of doing calls with all of my accounts to finalize their 2024 marketing plans, their budgets, their volume incentives. And then, of course, attending, all of the conferences for all of my host accounts. So that's me. And that's been me now since September, and it'll go until the middle of December. But a typical day, other than doing all of that stuff, is more geared around, I do a lot of training with advisors. So whether I'm doing a training for a specific host account or I'm doing a company training, training is a huge aspect for me. And then also any issues that arise that need to be brought to me, I take care of. I also work directly with all of our local business development managers to give them guidance on how best to work with their host advisors in their territories. And then, of course, I do monthly and also quarterly update calls with all of my host accounts to go over their numbers, to let them know how they're pacing, to let them know what their top selling destinations are, tours, and just to get a feel of what else we can be doing or I can be doing to better serve them as an account and their ICs.
I mean, it really goes perfectly into my next question, Jenny, because I know that at Avoya Travel, we really value our relationship with CIE Tours and, of course, all of our vendor partners. Would you agree with me that, at least in the travel industry, relationships remain such a vital component, and that maintaining that is vital for companies, both for CIE Tours and companies like Avoya Travel, and I'm sure the other accounts that you're in charge of?
I would agree 100%, because I can sit here and list, 6 other, amazing companies that, sell a lot of my products. And it honestly, it comes down to the relationships that you have. So I've always been a key component of having very strong relationships and keeping open communication, not just at the headquarter level, but also on, an IC level as well. People are quick to forget, what you do, but they're always quick to remember what you didn't do. So, my thing is that having that relationship and having it work both ways is truly the key to success.
I think very well put. Jennifer Warren, Director of Host Accounts USA and Canada for CIE Tours, is our exclusive Meet the Industry guest today for On Deck with Avoya. Jenny, one of the things I always love to ask of my industry guests here on the show is for maybe a few tips that might help somebody that's just new to the industry. I mean, coming out of the whole COVID crisis, there's no doubt there's been a huge surge of new agents to our industry. From your perspective, what are some of the traits that you see that great agents have that a new agent should aspire to?
I think that new to the industry and what I'm seeing, that what new advisors are actually bringing is, one, they're bringing the love and the passion that they have for the travel industry. They may not have started in it, but they've ended up in it. They're also bringing a passion for thinking outside of the box, not being pigeonholed. I also see that advisors that specialize and try not to sell the world actually do very well. And I see advisors wanting to have more local engagement, as well as having more training opportunities for them, whether it's in person, whether it's virtual. And then the other thing that I've seen a lot of new advisors start in is actually group business. And that, honestly, as an advisor, that is the quickest way, not only to, line your pocketbooks, but it's also the quickest way to, one, get repeat business, and two, to get referrals. So I think, advisors are coming into the industry and they're focusing on groups and they're focusing on being more niche driven, and not trying to sell everything. That is the key to success, is finding what fits best for you, what you're passionate about, and and also making sure that you have a solid business plan. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of new advisors come in. They're very business savvy, and they know how to work social media as well. And that's key components to be successful in this day and age as an advisor.
No doubt about that. So I know that visiting Ireland is on the top of many people's wish lists. How many times have you been lucky enough to visit the Emerald Isle there, Jenny? And do you have a favorite place in Ireland that you love to visit?
Oh my goodness. So I have been, I believe, 6 times now. And the first time I ever went, I did not work for CIE Tours. And I went over for the college football game that happens every year in Dublin. And I got to see Georgia Tech beat Boston College in a very close game. So it was great since I live in Georgia. But my favorite place in all of Ireland actually is Galway. I love Galway. I love that it sits, right there, on the water. I love that it's just kind of a small, very walkable town. I love that it's kind of a artsy vibe and that it has great history. And of course, there's some amazing pubs there, but that's Ireland in general. What can I say?
I love how you made sure you added the beat part there about beat Boston College. There was no doubt where your allegiances lie on that one. So good on you for that.
I will be there next year when Georgia Tech plays Florida State. So
that's always a big rivalry. Anytime Florida and Georgia hook up in anything, there's always that added neighborly rivalry thing that happens.
That is so true.
I wanted to ask you, Jenny, do you have a favorite CIE tour, or is that kind of like asking somebody to name their favorite child?
Oh my goodness, that honestly is asking, which one of my children is my favorite or which one of my dogs is my favorite. But I would have to say probably, oh my goodness. And I'll probably get shot for this because it's not in Ireland. But my favorite tour that I've ever done with CIE, and I've done quite a few, is honestly our Taste of Iceland tour with the Northern Lights. And I was lucky enough to go back in 2019 when we started the tours, and Iceland had always been on one of my bucket lists. And I'm not a cold weather person by any means. But I found the beauty of Iceland, and everything is outdoors. And, the people were so friendly and so hospitable that I fell in love with Iceland, and I would go back in a heartbeat and do it again. So, that honestly is probably my favorite tour out of any of the 41 itineraries that we do.
Maybe just to save yourself, do you have a favorite one inside Ireland?
To save myself, yes, of course. I think it would probably be it's one of our combo tours, and it includes Ireland and Scotland. And I like that because, you get to start off in Dublin, and then you go up into Northern Ireland, which is a completely different vibe than the rest of the country. And you get to see, breathtaking views. And, I'm a huge Titanic person. So being able, to see the Titanic Museum and where everything was built is really cool. And then you get to head over to Scotland and tour, Scotland. And I think that anyone that is a first timer, that they really should look at doing some type of combination tour, because it gives you such an insight into, basically 2 different countries. And, I love Scotland as well. It is beautiful, and I love the Highlands. And I keep trying to find the Loch Ness Monster, and I haven't found him yet on Loch Lomond. So maybe one day I will. Who knows?
Keep searching and keep dreaming, right?
I'm trying.
Hey, just a few more before we go, Jenny. But first, as our amazing guest today, we wanted to give you a chance to share anything about CIE Tours or anything that you think is just a long time travel professional that's important that maybe we didn't cover yet today.
Oh my goodness. I think one of the things to know, honestly, about CIE Tours is, throughout the years, we've expanded the amount of itineraries that we offer. So, like I said, in 2024, we will have 41 different itineraries. But the other thing, too, is when it comes to doing groups, we do groups extremely well. In 2023 alone this year, we will do over 357 groups. And for us, a group is a minimum of 10 people. So it makes it very manageable to be able to start getting into selling groups, because with us, it is just a minimum of 10 people. And then, don't forget about our private driver. This is our take on an upscale FIT, and we offer it in Ireland, we offer it in Britain, and we also offer it in Iceland. And that's for 1 to 9 passengers, and it's fully curated to the client's, specifications. So we get this a lot for clients that want to stay in castles and manor homes, or that want to golf some of those renowned courses in Scotland, and in Ireland as well, or people who just want to go and trace their ancestry, or, multi-generational travel. So I really feel like we have something for everyone, and a travel style for everyone when you book with CIE Tours.
I thought that was just perfectly said. Great advice and great thoughts on there. Hey, so we're starting to run short on time. I do have my one final question I want to ask you, Jenny. We ask everybody the same final question. Are you excited about the future of leisure travel? I mean, it boils down to that.
Oh my goodness, yes. 2023 has been the best year in all of CIE Tours history, and 2024 is shaping up to be just as good. So, I don't think that, people keep talking about this pent up demand, for travel. And I don't think it's a pent up demand anymore. I think it's that people really are excited about their downtime, and they're excited about, having new experiences. They're excited about being able to go and explore. And, we all are so crazy, these days in our lives, whether it's our personal, whether it's our work life, that we actually value the time that we get away. And I don't see that changing, because, there's so many demands on people, in life as in general, that people are always going to want to travel. So I do not see that pent up demand that they're saying is going to go away. So yes, I am so excited, and I cannot wait to see what 2024 has to offer for all of us.
Jennifer Warren, everyone, Director of Host Accounts USA and Canada for CIE Tours. Jenny, thanks again for your time and that great discussion, and I hope to catch up with you soon. Maybe we can even share that pint of Guinness we talked about.
I would love that, Chris. I can't wait. I hope to see you soon. And thank you so much for having me on today. This has been truly something special for me. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And we're heading into a big special event for us too, because coming up is our 3-year anniversary episode. And we're going to be so excited. We're going to be welcoming Phil Capelli, who is our brand new Chief Sales Officer at Avoya Travel. That's going to air next week, Thursday, our normal time here for On Deck with Avoya, throughout all of our social media channels. And we certainly can't wait for you to join in that. I said our time is running short, but we've got to take a moment just to I hope you don't mind. We're just going to brag for an extra second. Yes, we did. We won 2023 Magellan Award gold medal winner On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. It couldn't happen without your dedication to our show. So thank you. And of course, thank you to all my coworkers because working with them is just a dream and really makes a big difference. All right, so let's talk promotion. We've got our ongoing military promotion. We're taking $100 off for vets and their spouses, active duty, retired. Avoyanetwork.com. You can get a lot of information. My team happy to fill in the blanks there. Speaking of award-winning and speaking of discounts, how about that for the travel agent education powered by Avoya, also a Magellan Award winner. And they still have that amazing price point, right? Saving off saving more than 50% off. It only takes 35 to 40 hours to get through that. It includes the free memberships in CLIA and in ASTA. And again, details at avoyanetwork.com. And it dovetails into the best-in-class resources offered by Avoya Travel. Jenny Warren talked about specialization. That is something possible in our network because of the live leads. You want mentorship? We've got that with our amazing Foundations for Early Success program, our brand sales program. Again, reach out at avoyanetwork.com and get all of the information. Please give us a follow on social media. We want to make sure that you stay up to date on all the latest information, and we share some really cool things in and of that. You can do that at Avoya Travel Network on social media. Now on Instagram too, so pretty cool there. Or you can just send me an email if you'd like, chris.green@avoyatravel.com. Pick up the phone, do it the old-fashioned way. Make sure you go to avoyanetwork.com, get a ton of information, and then get involved with my team or Gina's team from the Travel Agent Education powered by Avoya. We would just love for 2024 to be the best year you've ever had, and now is the time to make that happen. A big thank you again to Jenny Warren from CIE Tours. Thank you to Annabella for producing our show today. Again, thank you again for being part of this on a weekly basis. 3 years coming up next week, hard to believe. And until then, take care, my friend.